right, everybody, my first guest starred as Ross, of course, on Friends. His new film that she directed, Run, Fat Boy, Run, opens March 28th. We're thrilled he's here. Please welcome David Schwimmer.
I'm great. I'm very good.
I like this look, too. I like this. You've got because you were living in Los Angeles a long time, but you're in New York now. You've got the beard.
I'm living in New York, so grunging it up a little.
Yeah. It looks good. It looks good. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Do you guys? I know this. You're not from New York, but
I was born here.
You were born here.
I was born in Queens, in Flushing, but right. But my parents, who are also New Yorkers, moved to Los Angeles when I was like 3.
Okay, so
I can't claim I'm a New Yorker,
right?
Really.
It's probably way down deep in your bones.
I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You feel that, don't you? That tingling.
I feel that New York tingle.
That sounds dirty. What is it like, the biggest difference? Because people talk so much about the difference between L.A., New York.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference to you that you experience? What are the people in New York? You're walking around.
Yeah, I I lived in Chicago a long time, too. I went to school there and there for about 20 years. And New Yorkers are very similar to Chicagoans, and this is what I like, is that they're just really direct and really kind of blunt. They just say it. They just tell it like it is.
Right.
In L.A., you're never really sure if someone says, hey, I loved your thing. You're really not really sure. But in New York, you're pretty damn sure if someone's like, hey, the thing you did, that was terrible,
Right. They will tell you that.
They really are upfront. And if the same way, if they really like your work, they say, hey, good thing, that you did on that thing. They're not...
Of course, you never know what they're talking about because they just say thing. That thing with the thing was it was a thing.
But they're not trying to hustle you, They're not trying to get you a script or something.
No, they don't worry here about sugarcoating it. I'm from Boston, so I was at least used to that because in Boston it's the same thing. Actually, they think everything's sucks. So, but it's the same kind of idea where they're right in your face and they tell you what they're thinking.
Yeah, which I like.
Now, we said you grew up in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You went to, did you go to high school there?
Which was brutal, in a way. It just wasn't me. There was a lot of emphasis on, appearance, and everyone drove a brand new BMW, and
this is like,
I did not.
Yeah, right.
My parents, being kind of working class New Yorker, how they were raised, they were like, you live 10 blocks away from, you're not getting a car.
Right.
And then I finally convinced them to get me a car, and my dad said, well, you're going off to school, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm probably going to go to Chicago. And they go, okay, so we'll get you a car for, the time being. So that 7-month period, they got me a 1976 Chevy Monte Carlo. And it was
So everyone else is driving around in, an late 80s... BMW.
Rabbit was really in the Rabbit, and I was in this boat. You needed a docking license for this thing.
Right. Familiarize me with the Monte Carlo. I'm trying to remember. Man. What color was it, first of all?
Can I say brown? Because it...
I think you just did, yes. And what special features did the Monte Carlo have?
Actually, it had a monster engine. Yeah. It was really... It didn't go fast because it was huge, but it had a big engine.
Right.
And the other feature was it was a 2-door, and each door weighed about 1,000 pounds. It's like, you
yes.
go, and then it took 30 minutes just to open.
Yeah.
It was one of those doors, and then it had these these bucket seats that swivel so someone could get in the back.
Oh, I remembered that. I didn't have one, but you could turn like this.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So
very erotic.
Fun. That was fun. That got the girls.
Did it really? I didn't think so. Only if you have a 76 Monte Carlo that's a certain color brown. Let's talk about Run, Fat Boy, Run. This is exciting. This is your directorial debut.
Yeah.
And because you're a director now, you get to do the famous thing that Hitchcock inaugurated, which is you get to give yourself a cameo.
Yeah, I never, from the outset, I didn't want to act in the movie. I just wanted to direct. And I had a terrific lead in Simon Pegg is the star.
Very funny guy.
You might know him from Shaun of the Dead or
Shaun of the Dead, Hot
And we also have Tandy Newton and Hank Azaria. Great cast.
Now, it was a fun set, I'm told.
It was great. It was actually the time of my life. It was great.
A lot of pranks on the set to keep it loose?
A lot. Tandy Newton was the queen of the pranks. She would, when Simon was on set working, she would, like, put cellophane on his toilet, so when he went to go to the bathroom, he'd splash everywhere. And she would, like, take old underwear and rub it with Marmite and leave it on his in the trailer, and take Baby Ruth bars and just throw them everywhere. And
oh my God!
It was pretty disgusting.
It sounds like a hostile attack of some kind. Yeah. What was the best prank of all the pranks?
I think the best one was when we were doing the press junket together in London when the movie opened. Tandy, Simon, and I are in 3 different rooms with all these on camera doing interviews, and Tandy had gotten there hours before Simon and I, and she had filled every one of his 12 giant bottles of water with vodka. So when he was in the middle of his first interview on camera and he goes to take a big thing during the interview, huge gulp, and just spits up everywhere all over the journalists. So that was probably the best prank.
Now, you mentioned Hank Azaria in this movie. I worked with Hank years ago on The Simpsons. He's a really fun guy and very brave as an actor. He'll do anything. He'll go for it.
He will.
Yeah, I know there's a... You did a scene with him in a locker.
I think you're referring to a particular scene in the movie.
Yeah, well, this caught my attention. It's a scene in a locker room.
I don't know what that says about you, by the way, that it caught your attention. But
we'll find out in just a minute. And yes, I'm gay. Do you... In this scene, Hank needs to take off his clothes, or look like he's taking off his clothes, I guess, in front of Simon Pegg's character.
Yeah, Hank is Simon's rival, and he's bigger and better than Simon at everything. And so Simon goes to a spin class with Hank, and then they're in the locker room afterwards, and Hank basically just drops trow in front of him after a shower, and Simon is sitting on a bench at eye level with Hank Jr., basically.
Yes.
And you know, we had, in movies, you know, for the actor's modesty, you create like a... a modesty pouch kind of thing to contain the stuff.
Right.
So, you know, the whole crew isn't looking at your thing. And we tried it, but it didn't really work, kept falling off and stuff. So Hank took me aside, you know what, I'm just going to just roll. I'm just going to just drop it. And so that's the take that ended up in the movie, is because Simon had no idea that when Hank dropped his towel, I mean, he would just be, how you doing? You know, that kind of...
So what we're going to see now is a clip from Run, Fat Boy, Run, and this is Simon Pegg's reaction, real reaction...
To Hank Jr.
To Hank Jr. Let's take a look at this clip.
Jake said you had some tickets to the Hobbit musical.
Yeah, a friend of mine's an investor in the show. He totally hooked me up. Can you believe that?
I was just thinking, you know, you don't really want to sit through a whole sort of 3-hour kind of show, do you? So...
Well, the thing is, Jake's really kind of got his heart set on this, you know? Powder?
I'm fine.
Sure? Refreshing?
I would imagine it is. I'm thinking maybe, you know, if you like, then I could maybe take Jake and Libby for you, you know, if you want.
Look, I know you must be kind of angry at yourself for messing up with the tickets the other night, and I'd like to help you. I really would, but, well, the thing is, I hope to be more and more a part of Jake's life, you know, and, frankly, I'm kind of looking forward to this show. Give Jake and I a chance to get to know each other better. I mean, you can see my point, can't you?
Yes, I can.
He's clearly just torturing him. No need to put his leg out.
There's no need to put the leg out.
Run, Fat Boy, Run opens March 28th, and congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah,
this
is
great.
very cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for being here, too. David Schwimmer, Drake Bell coming up. We'll take a break.